It is general knowledge that most civic buildings fail to be engaging public spaces for the people in modern times. With this in mind, we wanted to create a city that highlights the civic center as the primary focus of the area, but also, in turn, create interactive public spaces within it to promote an engaging community. We were tasked to do a master plan of a pocket city that reimagines the vision of Daniel Burnham for Manila, and which relates it to the context of the 21st century. The pocket city is located inside the district of Ermita in Manila, Philippines. It is the central part of the city, which is a significant hub for finance, education, and culture. Ermita also serves as the primary civic center of Manila, containing the city government and a large portion of employment, business, leisure, and entertainment. The whole land area of the site is about 1.59 kilometers square. We were given full creative freedom, including demolishing the majority of the buildings in the site. However, we needed to keep all historical, essential, and important landmarks on the site.
The ingress and egress road is the in and out of a site respectively. The majority of the ingress and egress road are very congested. Both the road near the Metropolitan Theater, which is a bottlenecking road, and the road along SM Manila, which has limited access, support the congestion and high traffic chaos. The vehicular road consists of the radial and circumferential road that passes through the site, namely R2, R8, R9, and C1. We also analyzed the vehicular traffic on our site, wherein we observed that most of the high traffic roads are around SM Manila due to the high quantity of pedestrians that visit this establishment. This also generates an influx of public utility vehicles that brings the people to and from this said establishment. Furthermore, we observed that most of the walkable public sidewalks are along vehicular streets, which are inaccessible or ineffective for the people to use, even with a underground passageway. This could be seen specifically in the three radial roads that all connect into our specified site.
The majority of the institutional structures are either on the far left region of the site or across the Pasig River, with the various industrial warehouses separating them. These two areas feel disconnected and disrupt the flow between the two areas. The only big commercial space is SM Manila, which can be seen near the City Hall. Across the river, most of the buildings along it are warehouses. Beside it are Muslim communities, which is significant in rearranging the area, making sure that it is upheld and respected. Most of the landmarks, primarily the civic buildings, will either be relocated or kept in their place, with the exception of SM Manila, which will be demolished. With our concept in mind, we want to highlight these towering structures and make them more engaging for the people, which can potentially make it a one-stop-and-go destination both for formal paperworks and leisure activities. We also studied the Pasig River area, and the reason this area is underappreciated. These are our observation. It has an unpleasant smell due to unmonitored piping, poor planning, including multiple obstructions, makes it hard for people to access it, lack of accessibility, and infrastructures that are congested along the river. This makes this area suffocating and foreseen as degrading instead of a water body that could generate activity. This map shows the built and unbuilt spaces. Most of the open spaces is occupied by the golf course by Intramuros. There are also smaller spaces used by private owners or public parking spots. This intensifies the issue of public spaces absent or limited in this area.
All that said, these process sheets will help establish the concept and provide visualizations for the proposed plans. Pinpointing the access points and interconnecting points, taking into account previous observations, these will generate a cohesive layout that will decongest these areas. In terms of pedestrian walkways, we have subcategorized it into three categories: the main pedestrians, secondary pedestrians, and access pedestrians. The layout mainly gives it focus to the people where the experience and visual stimulations will be heightened in this pedestrian-centered design.
With the changes in layout, function of structures, and route of pedestrians and vehicles, this is our proposed master plan. The first adjustment we made is replacing the post office with the Manila City Hall, which places it in a predominantly commanding zone, introducing a wide space in front of the City Hall by pushing both the road and overpass underground, incorporating water features and landscaping into the general area of the site can provide it with a newfound grandeur. The current Manila City Hall will still function as a government building, this time accommodating other sectors, including the Civil Service Commission, DepEd Division Office, and the COMELEC. These buildings were also visible in the original site, wherein we only relocated them from their previous location, which is near the LRT, to a space that complements the general layout. The proposed location for the post office will be across the river beside Quezon Bridge. This will mark the structure as a site for a vista.
Universidad de Manila will be relocated beside the old GSIS building in order to spread the general land area of the Mihan Garden. The old GSIS building is currently being used as Hall of Justice. We are proposing to use the adaptive reuse method to reclaim it as a public library, while the Hall of Justice will be relocated to a new location, giving it the highlight it needs, since it is seen as the pillar of the Constitution. The Muslim community, which has a mosque as the center of the community, creates vistas for the pedestrian from different directions. The residential lots are all in respect to the mosque. We created a commercial space along the river since we wanted to encourage activities and life into a place that wasn't primarily used before. Burnham also suggests water features as part of the design itself, specifically in a tropical climate. With this, we incorporated man-made lakes in the golf course that has water fountains. We also made an elevated walkway that connects from the intramuros wall.
Our proposed vehicular layout will have an underground pass for the connecting road of R8, R9, and R2. The current plan has the vehicular overpass above, while the pedestrian walkway is on an underpass. This opens up the remaining area for green space. In a radial manner from the river as the center, the commercial and residential, including mixed use, are situated by the river. This is to ensure that there is a maximum foot traffic in the riverside. The institutional is seen after this, mostly near the residential and mixed use, for convenience of mobility. The civic centers are seen at the outermost areas of the site for straightforward access from outside the specified site. The experience of movement of the people from one area to another will be heightened since they will walk past various nodes of activities.
The efficiency ratio for our proposed site of the identifiable saleable lots to the non-saleable lots is 73.88% to 26.12%, about 7:3. This base section shows the imagined life and activity of the pedestrian in a sectional view. The varying intensities of movement can be seen here. The definition a civic center is both formal and informal, where it is a breeding ground for the shared public space that creates a vibrant community district.
The formality of a civic center is a hub for organization, legal practice, education, and tangible resources. With its nature of being a community-centered structure, it is only righteous to bring back the people back to the site.